Well, good evening. Here we are. We are back at the bar.
Back
Yes,
at
yes,
the
yes.
bar.
It feels like it's been many weeks since we've been at the bar.
It has.
Several
It
weeks.
has. It has.
Some milestones have been
Yeah.
met.
Yeah, some
So-
milestones.
How's everyone been?
Well,
Yes.
I think we've all been good, but I think
Yes,
only one of us isn't getting any sleep.
Right.
I have a grandson. My first
Grandma.
grandson.
Grandma.
Cheers.
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 Grandma.
Cheers.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yes. But my grandson is making sure that none of us get any sleep. So
Well, that's their job.
that's their job.
That's what they're
He's
supposed to
really
do.
good at it. He's really good at it. And he's named after my father, who was a wrestler. And we are already saying he's going to be a wrestler because he's can either like from day one he could like hold his neck up.
Oh,
Oh, he's strong already.
the rock. The next rock.
And next
There you
rock.
go.
That's great.
Well, welcome, young man, to the world.
And your daughter and son-in-law are doing good? They're surviving this?
They're also sleep deprived, but but they're happy. Yeah.
Well, it's been good. Just busy, but the highlight this week is my oldest son. Got a new job, making a great salary, so we are excited for him.
Very nice.
Oh, nice.
He's going to be working with the Donahue Company. So we're excited about that, and
Nice.
he's excited. He was just overwhelmed the other day. So
Oh, yes.
That's great.
that was good.
That's
And
awesome.
So in a time when we're saying there are no jobs,
Yeah.
There you
people
go.
are getting jobs.
There you
Hey,
go.
listen, since he's gotten himself a really good job now, we ought to invite him to the bar to buy us some drinks.
I agree with that. Wait, he's got to pay me back first.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
His tab, I got to get that
Unpaid
tab
bar
down.
tab.
Get that
Get that
tab
tab
down.
Well, I was in Chicago last weekend with my sister and brother-in-law, and what a fantastic city. Now, we were
love
on the north
Chicago.
side.
I love
We
Chicago.
were not on the south side where, all of the heinous crime is. But,
Yeah. Yeah.
saw the Who's farewell tour, which was fantastic. A little sad at the end, knowing that this is the end of an era for one of my favorite bands. But all things must come to an end. But it is amazing because September's a really nice time to be in Chicago because the weather's really nice.
It's beautiful.
I mean, it was just absolutely stunning. We took this the architectural tour of the city along the river, which was amazing. I mean, because the city is just an architectural wonder. All these incredible buildings and. In the Windy City, one of the things that you learn on the architectural tour is when they build these very large buildings, what do you do to keep them from swaying too much?
Because they do swing.
They do sway, and it was a fascinating part of the tour. There are some buildings where they use big drums of water to sort of balance things out. There are some buildings where they put in the higher level floors, they leave some of those floors vacant so the wind can blow through.
Right.
I mean, it was really just fantastic.
Engineering at its best.
Yeah, I remember working in Boston when I first graduated college, which is also a pretty windy city at some times, and like the John Hancock building, the windows kept falling out. They hadn't figured that out yet.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I mean, but just what a great blues town, a great food town.
Yep.
Yeah, just a great time.
Yeah.
yeah.
Same for me. It's been pretty quiet on my end. I visited Art All Night in D.C. last night. Shout out to Art All
Oh,
Night.
yeah.
They had over
Yeah,
60
where
areas.
were you?
I went to Sycamore and Oak Park.
Yeah, because they
which is
have it
great.
in several locations.
They had over
Describe
60
for people
locations.
what this is.
So Art All Night is basically just a DC festival that I don't want to put a number on it because I don't know how many artists are involved, but tons of artists. They have vendors, they have musical performances, they have like live art performances, and then it's just a bunch of different things for the kids to do. For them to for people to get out and just enjoy the city.
Nice.
Just get a chance to experiment with the different businesses in the city as well. yesterday when I went on my way to Sycamore, I saw at least 5 or 6 more restaurants and bars like doing their own thing. Like a trumpet performer was standing out front of like a pizza spot and all different types of things. So it was awesome, and they're continuing tonight. But I'm looking forward to that being a thing that I do.
Did you have to go through a Trump checkpoint?
Well, that was going to be my gripe, but since you brought it up,
Well, you can fire away, young producer, with your gripe.
my this is on the record. This is my first gripe I've ever had on this show, and actually, my gripe is that
But
the
you
national.
have plenty of other gripes.
You do have
plenty
gripes.
of other gripes. I just hold them. Yes, throughout the past couple of weeks, the National Guard has been deployed in D.C., and they are just in the way. They are just in my way. I'm just trying to get home, and they choose like a major street pretty much every day in the southern corridor of the city, I guess. And they're just like literally just doing checkpoints, checking to see if you're okay in Southeast, just trying to see if you're okay, trying to see if your car is valid, trying to see if you're a valid driver. In my opinion, they're trying to see if you're illegal. Trying to see if you're not illegal. See if you're an immigrant, basically.
Whether you are an illegal, whether you entered the country
illegally. Exactly.
Which,
and they
by the way, remains a crime in the United States.
It definitely
It is a misdemeanor.
Crime,
It is a misdemeanor.
Well,
it is a misdemeanor.
I just think that you're holding up traffic for an extra 30 to 45 minutes to find out if every single person is an illegal immigrant. It's kind of ridiculous.
According to the president, there's now no crime in Washington.
Well,
DC.
yeah,
According
he
to the
did say
president-
that. Let's wait until the morning. Let's wait until the morning.
People are going out to dinner
Well-
for the first time.
Oh, first time
in years
Yeah.
because they feel safe.
Even he went out to dinner
Even he
the
went
other
out,
night.
and he
That's
got
something.
Well, he tends to travel with a few more people than the average person.
shout out to the folks that were there at Joe's Seafood that night
I know.
who decided to speak to him.
Oh yeah, there was.
Yeah, they were chanting some words to him, which were great. So,
Well, the National Guard is gone. I think that deployment is over now.
Oh, it's extended.
no, it's
They extended it.
Yeah.
I thought they canceled. It was done. They extended it.
yes.
Okay. Well,
And I
You can be
believe
hopeful.
until
You can be
until December, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, you live in the district. Do you see any National Guard presence where you live?
No, I don't. But there was a car theft right in front of my house 2 weeks
let's
ago.
get the National Guard up there.
Up there,
Yeah,
yeah,
get 'em up
absolutely,
there.
So
for sure.
where was the National Guard? But and so apparently there's an epidemic in my neighborhood, and there was no National Guard in my neighborhood. But
An epidemic of car thefts?
of car thefts, and this was because I'm on the email list for my neighborhood advisory commission. There have been a lot of car thefts in the neighborhood, and this was the neighbor's cleaning lady who was parked in front of my house, and we were going out for a walk with my grandson, and I saw that her
In the jogging stroller?
in the I did.
She can't take that jogging stroller out. Her daughter's not letting her take
She's
that
not
jogging
letting her use
stroller
that
out. That's just
jogging
not happening.
But this was like 3:00 in the afternoon. We're going out. It's a bright, sunny day, and I see that her window is completely bashed in. So I went to the neighbor's house to talk to her, and she had actually seen the incident. Also, a black car pulled up, and was there for about 30 seconds. Smashed her window. Her cousin also cleans houses with her, and her cousin had left a bag there and snatched the bag. And so this is apparently who. So I contacted my neighborhood advisory commissioner, and he's like, "Yeah, it's the same black car. He's been all over the neighborhood. He targets cleaning ladies or people that are likely to get paid in cash, and are not likely to report a crime." And there have been several, just like this, broad daylight, right in front. We're all home, right in front of my house, and like she had seen it when she was cleaning my neighbor's house. She had seen it, tried to get her camera out, but he's just too quick. It's like pulled up, boom, he's gone.
Wow. Did she? Well, I guess she didn't talk to her. I hope she didn't lose much.
I mean, there she is working hard and all day, And,
Well,
Funny thing.
note to self: don't leave bags.
Don't leave
Visible
bags.
bag.
Well,
Yeah.
the other thing you can do
Because
is leave
that
your car
is
door
attractive.
unlocked.
Well, you can't leave your car unlocked, and
Yeah,
You don't leave anything there, but you can leave it unlocked.
They put signs on the window saying this car is unlocked. Please don't break my window.
Right.
That would have been
Leave it
better,
up.
but
Don't
I
leave
do that
anything
in
in
my
the car.
neighborhood also.
Leave
Yeah,
the
because
door
they-
unlocked.
Leave the
Not
door.
only
My
did
door's
she
unlocked.
lose
Go through it.
whatever
There's
cash
nothing-
was in that bag, but she now had to pay for that car repair. So
Yeah.
Well, look, the whole National Guard thing, obviously, if there's a presence, a greater law enforcement presence, it's probably going to lead to reduced crime because
Of course.
criminals may be stupid, but they're not that stupid.
Right.
Right.
Right. If the National Guard had been there,
Yeah.
probably would not have happened.
But this is, and as I read these statistics of exactly the crimes that they're arresting people for, so about 40% of these are immigration rates, and the other 60% are crimes, whether it's all kinds of crimes,
Petty crimes, regular crime, whatever they are. Yeah.
Well, weapons, drugs, and crimes, but it's not a long-term solution. You can't solve the
Right,
city's
it's not a
crime
long-term
Problems with this issue. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this
having,
president
a
defunded the
presence.
police, and
This
so
president
therefore,
did not
No,
defund it.
yes,
that
he
was the
did.
Democrats that were calling
His
for it.
big,
The
his
Democrats-
big
It was the
beautiful,
Democrats
his
that were
big
calling-
beautiful bill defunds the police
That's
across the
bullshit.
country.
I don't know what you're talking
And
about.
this is why we have a
I don't know
hard
what you're
time
talking
getting
about.
police officers to join our local police
Oh my
forces,
God!
especially in the District of Columbia. They're about like at a capacity of about 60%.
Well,
We're 10
And it's-
minutes
and
in,
it's
and we've
terrible.
already got fake news.
It's real news.
Let's
It's
just-
real news.
let's just be
Do
clear.
your fact checking.
The defund.
And let me tell you what he's really going to do. He's going to determine based on a state if you're red or blue, who's going to get access to the grant money that typically goes to the police departments that are local, and the other states won't. So you're going to see a rise in crime if we're not going to simply say, let's put more law enforcement on the street in the communities. Let's fund law enforcement properly.
Let's just be clear. The defund the police initiative was a Democratic initiative.
Entirely.
I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that.
You just said he defunded the police.
He actually defunded the police.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
No, he
Check
didn't.
the bill. Just check the bill.
Okay,
Do your
what's
fact
in the
checking.
bill? Wait,
It's in the
what's
big beautiful
what-
bill
what
where he
is
has
in-
restricted funds to local states, police departments, because he is the guy who says red states versus blue states. This is what he does. This is what he does. I looked it up. I looked it up myself. I checked it myself.
Are you suggesting
yourself-
that when Biden passed his 2 reconciliation bills that he was not picking winners and losers? That's exactly what he did.
He did not.
And that's exactly what Trump
When
is
he-
doing.
when
It's
he-
not to say that it's right, but
his
but
bill,
both parties
his
do that.
bill,
But
his
I'm
bill
still not
rebuilt
sure where
America,
you're getting
bridges,
that he
roads.
defunded
He
the
put
police.
people back to work across the country. He did not go out and say we're going to fix the bridges in the blue state and not the bridges in the red
No,
state.
what he said was, you're not getting any money unless you have explicit DEI policies
that is
and you hire union labor. That's picking winners and losers.
No, that's America. We do.
No, it's
we
not
we believe
America.
in unions,
No,
and
well-
everybody should have a fair shot at working.
Well, that's fine, and then the cost of the projects goes up dramatically.
It does
and,
not.
and
How
then
does
it
it
takes
go up if
forever
you
to
just
get
hire?
done.
If you say I'm gonna open up the umbrella to everybody who is qualified, that's not
No,
making it more.
No,
Yeah,
they're
but if
only
you're
opening
saying
it
you're
up
only
to
gonna
people that
find-
have DEI policies.
That is-
Everybody
only
else
gonna-
doesn't count.
if you're only
I
gonna
didn't
fund
think
the
DEI
police
was on
in
the menu
states-
tonight, but you guys know DEI does not mean that we're picking only people because of their race or their woman. Or that is not what DEI means, and it has never meant that.
Kevin, the
DEI
Biden,
talks
Kevin,
about making sure that people are invited to the process,
that is not true,
and that
you-
they are giving a fair shot at opportunity.
Well, that is
Period.
a lovely idealistic.
That is
view.
what it is.
It doesn't make it
And
true.
That is true. That is
And the
true.
fact
That
of the
isn't
matter
how it
is,
worked in
the fact of
reality.
the matter is, that is how the Biden administration awarded grants. You didn't get grants unless you had explicit DEI.
You
policies.
should have DEI policies. You
No,
know,
you
you know
should
who really
have.
benefits
Your
from
state
DEI
should not
policies?
have police
Veterans.
protection if they
Veterans benefit from DEI policies.
No, they
Women benefit from DEI.
No, they
Look at the statistics. These are the people who really. You know, the last people on the list that benefit from DEI, African Americans. The absolutely last on the list, and that is who people point to as DEI.
Exactly.
Period.
Correct.
And that
People
is the
should-
truth.
That is true.
We should
Women,
not have
disabled, veterans, even Asian folks are ahead of
There
us
is no
on the
reason
list
to
of
be
DEI.
awarding grants, to people just because they have DEI policies. That is a phenomenal waste of money, and it's unfair, and it's not.
It is
needed.
not unfair.
And that's what the administration.
What's
is trying to
unfair
get rid
is
of.
when we lived in a time when people of color and people with disabilities and veterans were overlooked for opportunities that they perfectly were qualified to do, and they never got an opportunity to participate in the process. That's
so
the
we're going to
problem.
have government mandates that say
It's not a
unless
mandate
you
that
have-
it never said
unless
you had to
have
hire the person. It said you had to
Kevin,
at least give them an
the
opportunity.
Biden
and
administration
give it an opportunity to participate.
explicitly had grant rules that said if you do not have DEI policies in
The
place
policy doesn't
and
say I have
practicing
to-
it, you don't get any money.
The policy doesn't say I have to hire the person. It says that person has to be invited to the process.
That's no. They had to have explicit DEI policies before they got money out of the Biden administration. So this idea that you don't have both parties picking winners and losers is just not true.
Well, I
and
tell
this
you what.
notion that Trump
Yeah.
is defunding the police,
He-
it's
he-
ridiculous.
He absolutely did. You check it out. You check out the big beautiful bill.
Do you remember what the
you
DC
need to-
City
you
Council
need-
did 3 years
You need
ago?
to send us the provision
I
that
will.
you're
I will.
talking about.
I will send it to you.
Do you remember what the DC City Council did 3 years ago? They passed this bill that was basically just a crime, made the city basically a crime zone where nobody was going to be locked up for anything. It was so bad that even Biden had to veto it.
I will refrain from. I don't know what you're talking about, but okay. I mean, I
The
won't.
mayor-
I won't
even
jump
the
on
mayor
that. I
was
won't
against
jump on
it.
that. I won't jump on that.
Even the mayor
And
was against
I'm not
it.
saying it's not true. I'm just saying I don't know. I haven't
Let's get to our first topic.
But
here.
let's.
Fasten your seatbelts, listeners. We're
Yeah,
We're going on a roller coaster
We're
today.
going from theater of the
Okay,
absurd
but,
to
but just one last point though on Trump's policy of bringing in the National Guard every place.
Yep.
He actually without the National Guard wins on the crime issue because a majority of people feel that generally our policies are too lenient on criminals. We've just had several cases in the last several days of people that committed really violent crimes that have a whole rap list of violent crimes, and they're still out on the street. And that is one thing the American public is not happy with. And Trump wins on the crime issue. But this whole National Guard thing is costing him. He's losing on that issue, and people don't see the rationale for that. And it's not like the National Guard is really trained for these kind of activities. So
They are not.
while he's
he's
winning
putting
on the crime issue,
He's
and
putting our
he's
young
trying
Americans
to
in harm's way.
capitalize on it with this whole National Guard thing, he's actually losing on the National Guard issue.
I don't know that he is. I mean, he.
On balance, I'd say he is.
I mean, he's probably losing. I don't know. It depends on who you talk to in D.C.
well,
There are some people that love it. There's some people that hate it. But politically,
it's generally perceived as
politically-
overreach nationally, I would
Well,
say.
politically, the being tough on crime thing politically is a winner for him, and
Yes,
the Democrats
that's
are
what I'm
twisting
saying.
themselves. And the Democrats are twisting themselves into a pretzel on this because
Right.
when you have J.B. Pritzker, the governor of Illinois, and that moronic mayor of Chicago trying to go out and say to people, Chicago is safe, crime's going down.
Yeah.
The city of Chicago, as of last weekend, had already had more than 250 murders.
Right.
So how do you defend that
Right.
and say that the city is safe?
Well, this is what
Well,
I'm saying. I
let's-
think Trump is winning on the crime issue because
well,
it is
let's-
it
Well,
is
that's
a
why he
problem.
keeps
Well,
doing
wait
it.
a minute.
But
Wait a minute.
the approach of
Wait a minute.
using the National Guard is not a winning strategy.
okay,
You
all right.
can't press the crime issue and win on it without invoking the National Guard.
People always want to talk about Chicago. This has been going on for years. Many administrations. They talk about how the gun laws in Chicago are pretty strict, but the neighboring states have very lax gun laws, and so they have a lot of gun traffic. So the states that are neighboring Chicago refuse to work with Chicago to help assist with the gun trafficking.
So,
Period. So let me
the
just get
solution
this
is
out.
we-
Let me
we
just get this.
ban guns in
Let
all
me.
the other
You're
states.
not the
and
ban.
it'll all be
Nobody say
fine.
anything about a ban. That's y'all like to go to that side. We're not talking about banning guns, but where are the laws? And by the way, where was the outrage several years ago? Many years ago. I see African Americans on social media right now hollering about, "Thank you, Trump, for coming to Chicago. We need it." They've been there their whole life, and now all of a sudden. You want the National Guard? You never went to another community meeting that said somebody go get the National Guard and help us with the shooting. Nobody.
probably never thought
but
of
only
it.
but only what?
They probably never thought of it.
Oh my
No,
God.
I mean,
Oh my God, that's ridiculous.
What?
This is ridiculous.
No,
This has been a problem for a long time.
Okay, and the National Guard, I think, is a bad strategy.
Well,
It is a
I
bad
think-
strategy.
I think you need to. I think you need to crack down on offenders. I mean, so that we
Yeah,
don't.
so we get rid of all the Soros DAs who are letting all the criminals out. We get rid of, all these cities that wanted to get rid, the cash bail.
Yeah, why
That's
was this
terrible,
guy
too.
that stabbed that Ukrainian refugee woman? Why was he out? He had a rap list of violent crime. Why was
Listen.
he out?
If you've never been a participant in our criminal justice system, we give you second chances. Period.
He had a whole
And-
bunch.
and listen- and listen.
This was 10 chances.
Uh,
There were
okay.
no second chances.
We-
This was 50
I'm saying second
chances.
chances to say many chances. So
Okay, not
if
in
we
case
are,
of
and I heard somebody
violent-
say the other day, and I don't want to say I don't think it was Charlie Kirk before he passed, but I heard somebody say the other day, we should jail our way to peace. So you want to put everybody in jail every time they do something wrong. But let me just say this:
No, but
if you ever,
That's how- I mean, that's
if
how
you
they cleaned up
ever,
New York
if you
City.
ever,
And
if
how
you
many
ever,
chances do you give somebody?
if you or
When
your
you're
children
committing
or somebody in your,
violent crimes.
if you or your children or your family ever commit a crime willfully or by accident or whatever, you will want this justice system to see all sides and give you a break.
Yeah, if they run a traffic light
Okay.
or they shoplift.
No, we ain't talking
or
about
whatever.
traffic
No,
lights.
Violent crimes.
You get drunk, and kill somebody. You would want your daughter, your son, your uncle to be given some empathy and compassion when he goes before that court.
And if you're
Period.
if you're married to the person that was killed, you probably don't. But
Well, that's why we have a
Okay,
justice
and how
system.
many when someone has committed multiple violent crimes, how many chances do you give them?
I don't know how many chances you give them. You let the system work that out.
Okay.
Well,
So people are walking
you ask
around
the
who rape.
victims.
Some people walk around who have raped people immediately. They let them out of jail.
That shouldn't happen.
Okay, it shouldn't happen, and it happens.
You're arguing
all-
for it to happen.
No, I'm not
You're
arguing for it
arguing,
to
he
happen.
deserves
What
a
I am
second
saying
chance.
is, this justice system gives people opportunities to fix themselves.
And it gives them too
Now
many.
we can always.
You
we
can give them an opportunity. You can't give them 10 when it's violent crimes.
I'm sure all of his crimes weren't violent.
Many were.
Many might have been, but I'm
Many
sure they
were.
all weren't. And you'd have to
No,
read the
you
cases
know
to
what?
determine how they came to those conclusions.
Kevin,
but
if
of course,
if there are no consequences for
I don't.
committing
How
Every
many
there
more?
should.
Because-
then
Listen,
what's the incentive to not commit any
if it was
crime?
up to me,
If your child was raped or killed or whatever like that, you don't want that guy to get a second chance.
I don't disagree with you at all. What I am saying to you is the system
And you certainly don't
broken
wanna
in
get
some
10
places?
chances.
Yes. Is the system
You don't
broken in
wanna
some places?
get 10
Yes.
chances.
But you know why the system is so bad? Because it's never applied fairly across all boards.
Well, that's
And
not
that
a
is the
reason
problem.
to. That's not a
That
reason
is
to
the
let
problem.
this guy run around the streets so he can.
There's a lot of
kill
them
this
out there.
woman.
There's a lot of them out there.
And there are too many out there.
There are too
And
many
that
out
is-
there.
That's why Trump is winning.
I hope
this
he
issue.
should have ICE go pick up all the people with the long rap sheets, put them in jail. Get it over with.
Well, they
and
are-
he's
they are-
already talking
well,
about
they are
there's
doing that. They're just
equal
doing
equal
immigration
equal
rates,
fair
too.
equal access to the law for everybody. They're about to wipe that away. So buckle up, you guys.
All right, we got to move on. We got to move on before we descend further in the theater of the absurd. So there was a really tragic event this week when the young conservative influencer Charlie Kirk was killed on a college campus. I think this was the kind of thing that just really makes you sick to your stomach.
Yeah.
And 31 years old, dropped out of college. I don't even know if he even went to college, but
He went for a
built
semester.
this,
He went for one semester.
Built this organization. Started when he was like 18. I think he had like 4 million followers on X, and
Maybe 5.
he'd go to all these college campuses, and he'd get young people, fired up about politics, and and he typically would go into these crowds and invite people to come down who disagree with them,
Yeah.
and it was about the free exchange of ideas and free
Yeah.
speech on college campuses, and it reminded me, and I told somebody this the other day. So when I was in college, back in the Stone Age, so this was
Not the stoned
the
age,
mid-
right? Or is it the stoned age or both?
A little
probably
both. A little bit of both.
Probably both. So this is the mid '80s, and my school, which was the University of San Diego, which was a Catholic school, and obviously in San Diego, small school. I think we had about maybe 6,000 kids, 2,000 of which were probably graduate students. But they used to have these lecture series where they would bring in people who fundamentally disagreed with each other. And one that I remember vividly is they brought in G. Gordon Liddy of Watergate fame and Timothy Leary.
Okay, all right. That's a good
There are
argument.
two
But-
polar opposites.
That's a
This
good
is-
argument.
But this is
For
what
sure.
we used to do.
That's what we used to do.
This was welcomed
Yes.
on college campuses,
Yeah.
where we would invite people in who fundamentally disagreed with each other, and they would debate.
Yeah.
And there were no violent protests.
Yeah.
And you know,
Right.
this is what we used to do. This is
And-
what civilized society does.
And it was the way it used to be on the Hill. I mean, you would have people
I was
that
gonna
were
say the same
equally
thing.
diametrically opposed. You had Tip O'Neill and Ronald Reagan working
Yeah,
together and really liking each
the,
other.
But the thing on college campuses, the thing about free speech on college campuses, we now have all of these college campuses all over America now who are saying you can't come here because we disagree with what you say.
I don't believe that's
Um,
true.
It's
I don't
absolutely
believe that's true.
happening.
I don't
think
believe
that
that's
that's
true.
what-
That's not true.
It is absolutely
That's not
happening.
true.
I'll start with saying this. I don't celebrate death. I didn't know this gentleman, and I certainly don't know the two gentlemen you just mentioned for sure. uh, however, I will say that the gentleman, Charlie Kirk, he did invite this type of
Yes.
energy
Right.
within his speech a lot.
Yes.
He invited this type of, he said people should be
Discourse.
killed on camera. He said people should be brought to executed.
That's about the death penalty.
No,
That's,
No, that
that's
wasn't.
not
No.
inspiring
That-
violence.
No. I
he
think you should
said
go back.
People should
I think you should
be
go back.
executed quickly in the street. It should be
Exactly.
televised.
It should be
And
televised.
children
Correct.
should
Again,
be
he
able
did
to
say
watch.
That is about the death penalty. That's not about
did-
inciting violence.
Oh.
No. He was saying if you committed a crime or did something wrong, then you should be killed on camera in the street.
So,
That's-
do you
that's
have
what
any
he-
idea how many speeches and words this man has uttered in the last 12 years?
Yeah.
So
Oh,
you're
a
going
lot.
to pick like little
Well-
bits and pieces of what he says.
There's a
and you're gonna
large.
try to make
There's a
that about
large.
the guy?
No. So,
His-
like I said, I don't celebrate death. I'm not happy that the gentleman died. I'm never going to be happy that I wouldn't be able to sleep at night if I was happy that someone passed. But I don't think it's kind of like the Hulk Hogan thing. He was a piece of shit. Sorry, I'm not gonna
But
try to celebrate the guy's death. I'm sorry. No.
He
That's
he was a young man who
He said that black women were dumb.
he had a view, but his view certainly did not bring people together.
I completely disagree with you. I mean,
I don't know who
there's
he
a
brought
reason.
together.
He
I don't know
said-
who he brought together.
He brought together the people who shared
Believed in his ideology.
views.
That's it.
And how is that any different than Ilhan Omar and all the horrible, awful things that this woman says?
It is not the same.
It is absolutely
it
the
is
same.
not. I
can
And
tell you-
she's a member of Congress.
I
It
can
is
tell you
not
if
the
she
same.
if she died, they wouldn't be talking about it at the Yankee Stadium. The Yankees opened up with a tribute to Charlie Kirk yesterday.
As they should, because
They
he had a vast following of people.
If
Right.
if
Just
Minister
because you-
Farrakhan
just because-
passed away
just-
tomorrow, they
just
would not be
because-
speaking about it on
because
the Yankee
Louis
Stadium.
Farrakhan preached hate
He did
and
not.
violence.
He did not.
Charlie
He did.
Kirk did
He
not
did not.
preach
Yes, he
hate and
did.
violence.
He
Yes, he
said
did.
that black
Yes, he
women
did.
were not smart enough to conjure thought.
Cam, listen.
I can show you the
You-
video.
you show me that
I should
stuff.
have recorded it, but
You show me that stuff because
I watched it on Twitter
there's a lot of
times.
fake
Listen.
stuff out there where they are ascribing words to people that
This
they've
is
never
not
seen.
this is not AI. This is a video of him having a debate
Listen,
with someone.
if
And
you
he
never-
said, "I don't believe
listen,
black women are smart."
I don't
They
even
have
want
a
to.
way."
I don't even want to get into the weeds of it. To me, he was just a person who, his message was not for everybody. It was
was
for a
terrible.
certain group of people.
It was.
and that's who we talked to, and that's fine.
Well,
And we have the right to do that.
Okay, I
People can
haven't
do
seen
that
I
all
haven't
day
seen
long.
any
People have a right to
I've
do that all day
never
long.
even
any of those
heard of
videos,
that.
but
I'll play
but
it.
I do
I've
think
never
that
even
I'll
heard
play
of
on the second half. I'll
Okay.
play it.
No,
All
we're
right.
not going to play
No,
it.
no, we're
You
not
wanna play
gonna-
it?
no,
I'll show it to you.
All right,
behind
well,
the scenes.
show it to me.
But
But
here's
I do
the
think-
thing.
But I do
Here's
think
the
that
thing.
he encouraged debate with people that he disagreed
Well, if you watch his debates, he's really not debating. He is giving people an opportunity to speak, but they're not really debating. So,
Well, isn't that part of debating to give people
well,
an
it's-
opportunity to
if-
share their thoughts?
when you're debating, you open up yourself to the other person's thoughts. You try to understand. Anybody who came against him, he pretty much had the power and it was his setting. So he just talked you down or told you pretty much ended up saying you're an idiot. You don't know what you're talking about. You can be a fool, and it's fine. It's fine. Listen,
He wasn't demeaning people.
Oh, he did all the time. All the time.
What? Oh, you haven't. I don't think you've seen a lot
never
of
seen
this
this stuff.
stuff.
You gotta go see his
Yeah,
stuff.
you gotta see his
and
stuff.
I wouldn't be saying this if I didn't go and look at some of his stuff myself.
Same.
And because people thought he was great. African Americans thought he was great. People right. So I mean, people have a lot of ways of thinking. But when you do that, you invite people of the worst ilk to look at you in a way that ended up in this man being shot, which was unfair to him and his
Terrible.
family.
It was terrible.
It was terrible.
For sure. I don't want his
But
kids.
we are in
I don't wish
America,
that on
and let's
anybody.
be clear, this is not new to America.
Correct.
So
So I want to read something.
people
to
have
you.
been killed.
I want to read something to you. So the Foundation for Individual Rights and Expression, they did their 2026 college free speech rankings. It showed that more than 1/3 of students now say using violence to stop campus speech can be acceptable.
Well, we are in a horrible place in this country.
And
You
that's
can
completely outrageous.
if you point
Yeah.
if you take your finger out and point at red or blue, or you point at black folks or white folks, you point at gay people or straight people, that's the wrong way to start this conversation. America has become more violent than it has ever been, and is not more. Well, historically we were terrible, but people act like America is not a violent place. We're the
always
most
been a violent
civilized, violent place on the planet.
Correct.
Okay?
We've always been violent.
Every night, every morning you wake up, another American killed another American. And we allow ourselves to be trapped in these cocoons that points fingers at that group versus that group.
Yeah.
And that's why we will stay here until we stop it.
Well, what is your view on this? Because
No, I think political violence is terrible. I think we
Well, I think we all agree on that.
For sure.
Yeah, so
I definitely agree.
right, we do need to get back to a place we were where you could be on polar opposites of the political spectrum and still be friends or respect each other, and that is what we have lost. So
I
we
saw.
should never celebrate murder. And
We should never celebrate murder.
Never.
And
I saw a video of him
And it's-
actually
I'm-
verbally attack a person with when they said their thought. It was obviously the person was of a different race. He said something else, and the people he was speaking on the panel with had to stop him because he was threatening this gentleman.
threatening?
but listen,
Okay, he was speaking threats. He wasn't threatening him, but he was speaking. He was calling
there's a
him out of his
difference.
name, and he was speaking to him pretty violently.
Well,
all I'm saying is,
but I mean, I just that's,
can't provoke
that is all in the eye of the beholder, okay? Because when you look, and when you look across MSNBC and all of these left-wing podcasters and influencers, all these left-wing members of Congress, and you listen to what they say, and you're going to try to tell me that that's not preaching hate and violence? When Chuck Schumer stands in front of the Supreme Court building and says, Kavanaugh and Alito, we're coming after you. You're telling me that that's not preaching violence?
They're not
That's
preaching
not
We're coming
violence.
after you.
That's not
coming after you. How? What do you?
It's
How do you
all
interpret
in
it?
the eye of the beholder.
Okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
But
But here's
calling someone out of their name and saying you are X, whatever he called him, and saying that
Have
you
you
shouldn't
listened
be
to
able to
what the
walk
Democrats call Trump?
oh, absolutely.
here. Yeah.
Is
You think
everybody
that's acceptable?
anybody listen to what they called Obama?
Same thing?
Same thing. Thank
Right?
you.
So
let's
is- so
let's
is- so
let's
is-
live.
so is it
let's get
acceptable?
away from.
Is it acceptable
It
or
is
not?
not acceptable.
Right.
It's not
It
acceptable
is
on
not
any
acceptable.
front.
Right.
It is not
No.
acceptable.
Right.
And
Right.
and
But
I
this,
hope
but this idea that you have people out there, it's like when Brian Thompson, the United Healthcare CEO, was gunned down on the street in
Yeah.
broad daylight.
Right.
And
That
you
was
had
terrible.
people on
That was
social
terrible.
media
You had
celebrating this.
cheering
That was
him.
terrible.
Yes,
Well,
That was
right.
terrible.
I was going to say social media is so bad because we would have never saw this young man shot. You would have never, if you weren't there, you would have never
Yeah.
saw it without social media. And it is plastered everywhere for people to see
Okay, but
and for people to,
oh,
get emotional, more upset than maybe they need to be upset. When you see this stuff live, it creates all kinds of raw emotions, and people people are already on edge.
Yeah.
We're in a political fight. We're in an economic fight.
Okay, but sometimes you need.
People,
Sometimes
people
you
are
need,
stressed. And
Sometimes
people
you
have,
need to see the stuff live to understand what's actually
I
happening.
would-
What about the Rodney King? I mean, you think if that wasn't like a whole thing videotaped, that
They-
anybody would have paid any attention to it? So
They
sometimes
would
you
not
need
have.
the reality of it.
And listen, but look, Rodney King was clearly beat by the police officers.
But it's
And
only
all-
because it
hold
was
on,
captured.
hold on,
But
hold
my
on.
point
No,
is
but
it
her
was
point-
cap-
her
my
point is the
was
visual
the visual
was what
is
created the emotion.
what you needed to get people upset, and sometimes you need the visual to get
And
people upset.
And we got all upset for nothing.
Well,
Well,
and,
We got all
Yeah,
upset
all
for
upset for
nothing.
absolutely nothing.
I know people have been convicted on because there were videos that would not have been convicted otherwise.
This is true. I mean,
And
and,
so-
and the worst
and-
part is that we get to see it all now, all the time.
That,
Put your
that
phones
is-
down, people. Go
okay,
talk
that
to your
is
neighbor.
terrible, but I mean, my hope is at some point people will be so shocked to see the reality of people getting shot in front of 3,000 kids
You
that
keep seeing it, you'll be like, okay, this is what we do.
we have a lot of
know-
irresponsible. There's a lot of irresponsible
Yeah.
speech out there, which is only amplified by, the the infection of social media into our daily lives. And it's, I keep waiting for when, we're going to have some adults in the room who are going to be willing to stand up and say, we're just not going to do this anymore.
I'm
Yeah, I
with
mean,
you.
all in all, I think social media has negative impact, but it's actually, I
Any-
think having some things caught on video is actually helpful.
Well, anybody over 55 should be voted out of Congress at this point. Get them out,
Over
all
50
of them.
I don't know. I mean, I feel
Get them all out. Get them all out of there.
I mean, I feel like the under
They're towing this
55
line like it's nothing.
I feel like the under 55 crowd is perhaps even more irresponsible rhetorically
They
than the old people.
They actually have less. Yeah, they have less
Just-
access to actual real news, and I don't know. Don't
it's just
recall
crazy.
a time when there was civility between opposing views.
But I'm particularly outraged about what's happening on college campuses because, college campuses are supposed to be the place where you freely debate ideas, and to not invite people to college campuses because you may disagree with their views. I mean, free expression of thought is one of our bedrock principles, and you got to be able to have people on these college campuses so that young people, and look, you guys
Well-
may disagree with me, but universities in America are left-wing factories.
Okay,
There
but-
is
but-
very
but-
little diversity of thought
Well,
in higher education.
How
And
do-
that's a problem.
well, how do you say that and then say the second part?
What do you mean?
When you go to college, you go to have you have diversity of thought, right? Even the guy from Harvard, the president of Harvard, was on the other day. He says, "Look, we got everybody here talking to these kids, but what you want to say is that they're leftist propaganda machines. People go to school, they have interactions. When you have diversity, when you have people across all this country from around the world who are here studying, that's diversity of thought, and our colleges do that." And if
Well,
people come out of those schools with an ideology that they believe is right and good for the betterment of the people, who are you all to say that they're being propagandized?
Because the
Yeah,
faculty
okay.
in these colleges and universities are all liberals.
they're not all liberals.
They
Yeah,
are.
no.
They are
Absolutely.
not all
They
liberals. They are
Kevin,
conservative
there's-
people
No,
on
they're
these.
not.
Well,
They
they're pretty.
are.
They're
There,
pretty.
there have
they're
been
pretty liberal, and-
numerous studies
but
about this.
they're-
There is a
very
lack of
liberal, and-
diversity of thought.
and
So
on college
now,
campuses.
the
so
whole
now you
time-
want me to believe
No.
that there are no conservative people teaching in America.
Well,
They're in the minority.
about 10%.
They're in the minority, but also the
I'm
whole,
gonna ask Google.
The whole cancel culture.
Well, consider who runs Google. I'm sure the algorithm has already got that baby teed up.
Let me ask
They-
X.
The whole cancel.
Ask Gronk.
The cancel culture became too intense. It was overly woke. You couldn't say anything that was politically incorrect without being
That's
canceled.
not being woke. I need y'all to
Yeah,
stop using
it
that
is.
word. Y'all gotta stop. Stop
We gotta
using
stop
that
using
word.
words.
Stop
Yeah,
using
woke.
it.
We gotta stop,
It's
yeah.
not being woke.
Okay.
Wokeness.
If you didn't
Anti-woke.
if you were not politically correct, you got canceled.
That's
You
right.
should be able to express your views
But
without
wait a
being
minute. All right.
canceled.
Okay. All right. Okay. That's fine. But that
Cancel
has
culture was too
absolutely
intense.
lowered the bar in this country. The fact that
What
we
has
think,
lowered?
oh, if you say something, if you say gay or you say the N word or whatever, and you get beat up for it, then that's wokeness or whatever y'all want to call it. But the reality is, when I grew up, people, grown ups, didn't have to use those words. The grown people who made it, who become president, become our congressmen and our senators, they didn't have to go out and call you an idiot and stupid and do this on the camera for the people. We didn't have to do that. People actually had conversations like intellectuals do. So
Yeah.
being politically correct does matter. You shouldn't just go out and insult people and say whatever you want to say and think that the people that you're representing are not going to follow in your footsteps.
So
But
Kevin, I don't
You
disagree
can
with you, but
express different views without insulting people.
Yeah.
and-
They
it's
do,
still
but that's all they
considered-
do. That's all they.
No.
That's all they do.
so
No,
I will sum this up for you in a nice, neat little bow.
There we go.
We are now in a place where what politicians and influencers in America, they no longer try to persuade you. What this is now about is getting your base angry and fired up so that you'll take action. That's what it's about. It's
It's
no
not
longer
action,
about
but it's not action,
persuading
though.
people with the power of ideas. It's all about making your people angry enough that they're going to take action and do things.
It's not action though.
And
You know what it is? They want you to vote for them.
It's the same thing.
Okay,
That's
well,
what I mean.
and I agree with
It's
you.
the same
That's
thing.
all they want you to
These
do.
people are not
Just keep
persuading
me
you
in-
to vote
right.
for me. They want you to get so angry and so pissed off at the other person that that's why you're going to go out
Okay,
and
but
vote
you know,
for
but
me.
you know,
That's
but you
right.
know, number
That's
one,
exactly.
number one user of that practice is Trump.
Oh, 100%.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
all right.
but it's not like he's the only one that did it.
That's very
Well,
true. That's
negative
very
energy
true. That's very
he-
true.
Of
That's very true.
people,
Yeah.
That's very true. That's very true. I agree.
negative
But-
ads work.
He,
I agree.
negative ads have worked for a long time. That's true. Yeah.
That's very true.
But
Anyway.
but Trump has been bolder than most about.
Well, this is
Giving up
what
hate.
everybody likes to say. Well, things were never this bad until Trump started doing it.
Well-
Now things are
Well,
horrible.
well, let's say-
They've always been
but let's-
horrible like
but
this.
you know what?
Well,
But you know what?
know,
Things didn't. If they were bad, it didn't feel as bad.
Well, like,
but
like we
the
were
other,
just saying, when I first started working on the Hill, people of opposing views would go out and drink together, get along together, and even though they had diametrically opposed views.
but let me
that,
say
that
this:
has changed.
I was watching Abby Phillips the other night.
Yeah.
I know you don't watch her.
No.
I-
Well,
But
she's
she
liberal,
had-
but
she
it's
had
also
two-
past my bedtime.
She had a guest on.
I know. You know what? And I used to like her. She's gotten too. I don't know.
She's just a moderator. She
No,
had a
no,
guest
no,
on.
she
She
started
had it. But
that way.
let me
She's
just tell you this
become
point.
too
She had a guest
aggressive.
on, and after the Kirk assassination, he was talking about his friend, the guy who he pretty much debates all the time on the show. They have, two different points of view, and he said, "I wish people knew how much we went out to dinner and had drinks and
Right,
talked.
right, right.
He is my friend.
Yeah.
I don't want to see
And
nothing
that's
happen
how-
to him, and people should see that." And
Yeah.
I think it
And
still
that
happens to
is
your
how
point.
it used to be
I think it
on
still
the
happens to
Hill.
your point, but people
No.
won't go on and you won't see him on camera with his buddy.
They
They won't
don't-
be taking pictures
People
of
so
him
don't,
they don't-
people do not have that attitude
because they
anymore.
need the click,
You know what?
and they need the votes, and they need the money.
But people don't have that attitude anymore. You go to a dating site, and it's like, you look at somebody, and it's like, if you were a Trump supporter, swipe left.
Oh, yeah, it's terrible. I mean, even all the dating
No.
sites have been politicized.
That's fair
That's another
down here.
reason
That's
not to be
fair
on
down
it.
here in public water. That's fair.
terrible.
And when you
There
get a
is
microphone,
no longer an acceptance that you can disagree on these issues and still be friends.
But see, this is why as I have said repeatedly on this podcast, that the only balanced news program in America is Brett Baer's
Oh,
Special
my.
Report. And like on Tuesday nights, Brett has this segment called Common Ground, where he invites a Democrat and a Republican.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch it on
On the
Tuesday.
show,
Text me and remind
You know,
me.
to talk about an issue that they're working on.
Text me and remind me
to your
Tuesday. I'm gonna
point,
watch it.
They don't talk about this enough because it's probably not happening as much as it was when we were staffers years
Yeah.
ago,
Yeah.
but it is happening. And these guys do work together sometimes, but they're afraid to talk about it
Yeah.
because they think that it's going to affect their own base.
They're
Yeah,
gonna
what you
cancel.
doing? What you doing walking around
Cancel.
with him?
With that guy. Yeah, exactly.
He's a
Cancel.
commie.
Cancel culture.
He's
Cancel.
a Nazi.
Cancel culture.
Our drinks are empty. Our drinks are empty.
Well, they are empty.
We need we
Okay.
need a refill.
Sure. Let's go ahead. We'll be right back with another round.
Alrighty, we are back with full drinks.
Yes.
Yeah, getting a little parched there. That was a really long first segment.
Yes.
So, the former Vice President of the United States has a new book, 107 Days, which was the length of her 2024 presidential campaign, which some people would characterize as a billion-dollar catastrophe.
Yeah.
$1 billion.
But the book has not come out yet. But like most books that have yet to be published, people are releasing all kinds of snippets.
Yes, they are.
And there was a rather interesting snippet about Kamala's view about whether Joe Biden really should have run for president, which I believe that she characterized as
Reckless.
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 What are our views on this?
Well, let's be clear. Joe Biden started off saying he was going to be a one-term president, and he kind of walked that back. And then,
And
you know, when Trump emerged as the candidate on the right, I think he felt like he was the only guy that could pull the train in. to the station.
arrogance on his part.
Well,
as you-
okay. He's the president. You got to give the man a little grace on
No,
that.
call it what you see it.
Um,
Arrogance
But
And senility.
and civility.
the man's fine. He can run for president now.
No.
Stop it.
No.
Stop it. I mean,
You can't even eat an ice
Hey,
cream cone
listen.
anymore without an A.
listen,
my God.
listen. Chuck
arrogance.
Grassley
Arrogance.
is still in the office.
Chuck can still do push-ups.
That's not going to be a push-up. And Mitch McConnell is still in office.
Well, Mitch can't do a push-up.
He can-
He can't do a push-up.
Okay.
But anyway.
And he's backing off. So
But anyway,
he's not trying to run for president.
you know,
or majority
Kamala
leader.
is probably gearing up for another run. And she's going to separate
God,
herself.
God,
But,
God
you know,
bless her.
She's going to
Well,
separate
I hope
herself.
she does.
Okay.
She wants to separate herself from the history of
Yeah.
that campaign
Clear-
and
that
try
is
to move
what-
forward.
That is what she wants to do. She wants
Yeah.
to separate, but but as far as I'm concerned, it's a losing strategy and a very superficial strategy to say that to come out and say, okay, yes, it was wrong, and I really knew it because she was there defending him every step of the way, and even when he did back off, she was defending him every step of the way. So what she's
Well, wait.
doing is acknowledging that she was lying before.
That's
Yeah,
not
that's
lying.
exactly what
That's
she's
not
doing.
lying.
Yes, it
That is not
is.
lying.
And
That is
that
not
a
lying.
terrible strategy.
So let me just say this.
She,
Have you ever
she's
been?
trying to resurrect her image, but as far as I'm concerned, she's further damaging her image
Well,
by acknowledging.
you might be
she
right
was
about that.
lying.
You might be right about that. But here's the thing: when you're in the fight and you got your partner with you, you ride it to the end. Nobody's going to get up and say,
that's one thing. but
right now, hold
now
on.
she's trying now she's trying to sound like, oh, I knew it all along, and and I was being undermined by everybody. It's everybody else's fault. His staff was undermining me. Everybody was undermining me. So I had no choice because she had a choice.
this is politics. And if you say
that's
lying,
fine,
if you
but
say
I'm just-
lying is a problem, we have a huge problem
I'm saying
because people
she's-
lie.
I'm saying the
everywhere.
strategy is a losing strategy as far as I'm concerned.
Well,
Same
well,
thing
we'll
with
see.
Biden.
We'll see. We'll see
Same
what
thing with
happens.
Biden.
We'll see
she's
what
got-
happens.
She has two problems.
We will.
One, she's a terrible candidate, and two,
She's got some
And-
traction
and-
now.
and
She's got some
two,
history.
and two,
As a bad candidate.
she's now said the quiet part out loud, where she has acknowledged that they all knew that the guy should have never run for president.
And same thing with his press secretary, who also wrote the book, Karine.
Yeah,
What was
she
Jean
was so
Pierre.
distraught.
Jean
Karine
Pierre.
Jean-Pierre.
She was so
Who
distraught.
also
she became
tried to say-
independent.
Right, she
Well-
tried the same strategy. It's like, oh, now I'm an independent because, and like I was lying all along.
In
but-
politics, as we all know, timing is everything, and it took them too long to get him to give it up.
Well, he should have
And-
never run for reelection.
Well, we all agree with that. We all agree with that. but-
None of them told him that to his face, which they should have.
Well, you don't know if they told him to his face. They probably told him. He was like, "Yo, get out of here. I got it." I mean, you know,
They had told
it's
him to
what
his
people
face,
do who are in power.
they
People don't want to
would
lose
be-
power.
They would be claiming it now because that would give them more
Well,
credibility. None
apparently
of them told him to
they
his
would only
face.
be able to talk to him about this for just a few hours a day because he
But
was
they
not
let him-
around
I
much.
tell you,
A lot of napping.
It's true. It had to be between 10
tell
and
you.
4.
you can't sit on the panel with these right wing people. You can't do it. You
Well,
just
Rachel's
can't do
not
it.
right wing. She's
I
the-
know.
she's the model
I know.
independent. You know,
I just,
sees things with a sober view.
well, not exactly.
Well, listen, he messed it up. It was a short runway for her. We tried to pull it together. I'm still not convinced that the election wasn't rigged.
Oh my God.
Oh, my God.
Just saying. The president pretty much told y'all.
Oh my.
You know,
Lord.
he's the kid that steals the candy bar, and then he goes and tells
It was
mom,
not
I stole
rigged.
it. I stole it.
It's not rigged. It was
I
not
stole it, mom, for real. I stole
He
it.
just can't. He can't keep it to himself. He just
keep it to
can't.
himself. I gotta tell you.
See, this
not rigged.
just summed up the Democrats'
the country,
problem.
like,
I mean,
if you
it's
read that
utter,
New York
it's just
Times
utter
article-
denial
Yeah.
that we had crappy candidates, we had crappy policies, and people didn't like either one.
We had listen.
No,
Listen.
they-
You can
so,
say
you
what
know
you
what?
want. We
I
had
sent you guys-
the economy
I-
was good under
No,
Biden.
it wasn't.
It was good
It
under
was
Biden.
not.
It was so.
We had the highest inflation in 40 years.
But why?
Why?
Tell me why.
Spending.
We are spending more now than we ever spent. The
No.
conservatives cannot say anything about spending.
Joe
we
Biden,
are adding
Joe
3
Biden
point.
allegedly because we needed more COVID relief in March
We
of
did need COVID
2021,
relief.
another $2.5 trillion, which is how
We're-
we ended up with
We're at 3.7 trillion dollars under the President Trump.
what?
3.7 trillion dollars under President Trump.
Okay, you know what?
But that was when the pandemic began.
No, I'm talking about now.
Well, but that's because you're reading these idiotic,
Oh, my goodness.
idiotic
Oh, my
projections
goodness.
about the one big beautiful
you guys
bill
say anything
because
about
they
spending,
because they
I don't
do
wanna
not
hear it.
factor in how much ultimately the tax cuts are going to juice the economy.
No,
They're not.
Trump
They're
does not
already
care.
not
You
juicing
don't
it.
know
They're
that.
already not juicing it.
Trump
We're-
doesn't care about the
The
deficit.
bill just passed on July 4th.
You're right. You're right. Inflation is creeping back up.
Okay, Trump
Jobs
really
are
does
down.
not care about the deficit.
He
That's-
does not
that's
care about
what
the
it
I
is.
didn't
deficit.
say he cared about
Okay.
the
And
deficit.
conservatives don't care about the deficit.
No, but okay.
Well, conservatives actually do care about the deficit. The
But-
president
They
is
say
not
they
a
do.
The
conservative.
fact of the matter
He's a
is,
populist.
Trump won the election. The population shifted to the right dramatically. I sent you guys this map. The United
True.
States read out how many districts shifted to the right. The whole country, all shifting to the right. There were a few districts that shifted to the left. The richest and most educated districts, the handful of them shifted to the left because the Democrats are not speaking to the population anymore. Only the most elite and richest, they don't envision themselves
Yeah,
the party
and by-
of the rich,
and-
but that's what they've become.
And by the way, Kevin, that constituency of rich elitists, those would be the ones that all attend private schools and all send their children to private
Yes,
schools.
we know that.
Who don't want any of the rest of our children to be able to go to
And,
private
that,
schools.
and that's right.
Well,
That's right.
that-
They
okay.
don't want to pay for scholarships for poor kids to go to private schools. Yeah, the Democrats have become representative of the richest and most elite.
They represent the 1%.
Yes,
We
They
do not
represent
we
the
do not
1%.
represent 1%.
that is what the voting shows.
Well, the voting can.
That is
the
what
voting.
the facts.
Well, wait,
that is
whoa,
what
whoa,
the
Rachel.
facts
The voting-
show.
Remember, it was rigged.
It was rigged. It was
This
rigged.
is what the facts show.
How do we know these are the facts?
Who
told you these were the
The
facts?
New York Times. The New York
I
Times.
am jumping off the Kevin boat
Wait a
right
minute.
now. I'm jumping
Wait a
off.
minute. The New
is
York
the
Times.
Times.
This is the man who said there's no debt.
There is no debt.
Oh.
There is no debt.
This was-
37 trillion.
This was
It's
an analysis.
It's all the
This was
bamboozle
an
the common
analysis
people.
done by the New York Times, who does not support Trump in any way, shape, or form, or Republicans.
Okay,
This
y'all
was
hate
their
the New York
analysis.
Times. Y'all hate the
The
New
whole-
York Times.
I do
How
hate the
could
New
you
York
believe
Times.
anything they say?
Well,
I
Kevin,
don't-
Anything
a
they say.
stop
I
clock
don't
is
hate
right
the-
twice a
This
day.
I don't-
this is the article you're going to read and
I don't
believe.
hate the New York Times. No, but this is not an article that is trying to sway you towards Trump. Quite the I mean, this is not a newspaper organization that's trying to sway you towards the right. But their facts show a vast majority of the
The
population.
data
But
is
wait
the
a
young
data.
minute.
people,
Wait a
the,
minute, wait a
the minorities, the men, the young, all move to
Well,
the right.
we know the Hispanics move, and then they're moving out.
We'll see. We'll see.
And
the
they-
only people that
They moved them in,
and like I
and
said,
they're moving out.
the only people
Well-
that moved to the left were the rich,
Well,
overeducated.
so I will give you a little bit of space here on this one point.
Okay.
Regardless of whether the Democrats win or the Republicans win, both parties often take a lot of liberties thinking that their mandate is bigger than it is. And the problem, with everything that we had to deal with under Biden, and much of which was horrible, we've now just gone totally in the other direction. And there are a number of areas where I feel like the current administration is overreaching.
And the
And
National
I,
Guard.
and
for
I think it's
example.
going to come back and bite him in the ass.
Well,
And the National Guard, yeah.
we're going to have a tough economy. I hope they do lower the interest rates at some point soon. But the fallout from all of the things that he's doing is not seen yet, but it's creeping into the economy, and we'll see. And the problem is, Americans are microwave Americans. We think everything happens overnight. It doesn't. This is going to take 6, 12, 18 months to
No, we're
fully be
yeah.
recognized.
I agree.
And
Agree.
let's be clear. If we have another election and a Democrat wins, they will absolutely blame it all on the Democrats. Period.
What do you mean?
Who?
If there's
Wait,
another election and
Democrats
the
win?
Democrats
Wait,
win,
what?
they're going
The presidency.
If the Democrats win the presidency,
We'll blame what?
what?
Who-
They will
blame
blame
what on who?
any disaster to the economy, anything in the job market. They
I
will
see.
not say
I see.
this was
From
part of the
when Trump-
previous administration like they do every day with Biden. Every day it was Biden. It was Biden. It was Biden. Well, the new Democrat come in, they're going to say, he's the
Yes, sir.
problem. He took over on January 21st. All this shit is his.
From January 21st. Is
And
over.
we don't talk about Trump. That's over with.
Yeah,
You will not hear it.
I agree.
Period.
Well, I mean, the one sensible thing you said there was that this is all going to take like 12 to 18 months, and I completely agree with that. We don't know.
We
how
don't
this is all
know
gonna
how.
work.
We don't know
That's
how.
right.
it's
Yeah.
But
gonna
I can
go.
tell
We
you,
don't
if
know how
things
it's gonna
aren't
go.
looking up by next spring, early summer,
Democrats will win.
Democrats
Yeah.
are probably going to do very well.
It's
Yeah.
it's the economy,
But-
stupid.
Let's
Yeah.
see. We got a steak dinner riding on
We
this.
got a steak
as
dinner
I
riding
recall.
on it.
And speaking of the one percenters, let's talk about Larry Ellison.
Great segue. I
Larry,
like that.
Larry was the richest
1%.
person in the
The
world. for
point
about-
oh one. The 0.01%.
but Larry was the richest person in the world for,
For
like
one day.
was it even 24 hours?
I don't know.
He hit
One day.
He hit 400 billion.
He went. He
He overtook Musk.
Elon Musk
Yeah.
for a day
Yeah.
as the richest man in the world.
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah. His
But this
net
is
worth.
all on paper.
His net worth.
This is all paper.
Well,
It
he-
was
he
increased
had-
by
he-
100 billion for one day,
In
and
one
then
day.
it went back down.
So he owns 41% of Oracle.
81%.
Got it.
41%.
41%. 41%.
owns
He's
41%.
81. He's 81 years
He's
old.
81, and he
Oh,
owns
he's
41%
81.
of
See,
Oracle,
misinformation,
Um,
misinformation.
which is currently now worth around $380 billion. I'm sure he probably has some other holdings,
I
but
was going to say, how much money did he have before all this?
well, Oracle. I'm trying to remember when Oracle started.
He was rich.
Well, but I mean, then
Clearly.
the day before he was the richest man, he was still very rich. He was still like
Yeah,
it's
okay.
like 350 billion, and then he went like 400 billion,
Oh,
and then
I
he went
got
back down. So you know,
Well, and because so much of his money is tied up with Oracle,
Gotcha.
like when their stock price rises 10%, he does great. When their stock
drops.
price tanks by 10-12%,
yeah.
he's losing
bad day.
tens of billions of dollars.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's a bad
Well,
day.
Tens of billions of dollars,
He went
okay.
up $100
Yeah.
billion, and it went
Yeah.
down about 50 billion, like
Yeah.
like a day.
And,
so.
and look, I mean, look, Oracle is very well positioned because, and look, not unlike all the other tech companies, they've all been
NVIDIA.
sucking up to Trump, right? They all want to see
Did
the
you see
table.
that meeting? Oh,
They're
my
all
God.
trying to,
See what?
Oh, the meeting of the techs around Trump.
yeah.
That was God's.
Well,
Listen,
but,
that was
yeah,
sick.
but
These
those-
guys-
But those companies
Remember,
are
Kevin?
tied-
It was
these people,
sick. These
Kevin,
are not men.
they're capitalists.
They're cowards.
They're
cowards.
capitalists.
That's
And the idea
That
that, they
makes it
care
even
about
more sickening.
the idea that they care about anything other than
Money.
making money for
That
their
is
shareholders
sickening.
and themselves.
That is
it's a
sickening.
little bit of a,
Okay,
you
he's
know,
yes,
It's-
he's well
it's
positioned,
sickening.
he's close to Trump, but Oracle is well positioned because they're tied into the AI
Yeah.
economy.
Yeah, they're very well tied into the AI economy.
And the AI
And-
economy is where it's at.
yeah, and so I read it.
My daughter will trust AI more than her doctor, so
Oh,
I don't know about that.
That's trouble.
I don't know about that. That's a problem.
But I think it was the guy. I can't remember if it was the head of Microsoft. I think it might have been the head of Microsoft, where he said that AI has got to grow like tenfold over the next 20 or 30 years for any of these expectations to be met, because we're in the middle
any of
of
which
this,
expectations do we
the expectations for AI about how it's going to transform everything. Because so much money is going into this.
Oh, yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
first of all, we do not have the power to
Right,
actually
to
run
We
all
don't
all
have
the
those,
AI,
you know,
you
those
know,
machines
we-
in the desert.
right.
We just need to put more spas on top of the machines. Told you the one I was at in New York. All this heat that was generated, and they had
No, it is. I mean, honestly, this we really do need to have a segment on this on the next podcast where we got to talk a little bit more about the AI stuff, because
Yeah.
I like it.
we're in the
It's-
middle of an AI.
kinda like when the internet
like an
started.
AI hype bubble right now.
It is,
where
it
people
is.
are just so. I mean, it's driving everything. I mean,
It's
it's
driving
You still
everything.
didn't download it yet?
download what?
Download what?
Like
Yeah,
ChatGPT.
Oh,
or
I have
something?
ChatGPT. But I don't pay for it yet.
No. I'm
I
not
don't
paying
pay
for it. No, I
Well,
think it's crazy.
and that's so according to Sam Altman, unless they can figure out a way to get a whole lot more people to pay the money.
They will. They
for
will.
ChatGPT.
Eventually,
They
you're gonna
almost had me on
eventually
that.
you're gonna have to pay for it,
Well,
and you want to pay for it
direction.
anyway
Yeah.
because when you pay for it, and it's not expensive. When you pay for it,
Yes, it
your chatbot, not okay, your chatbot starts to learn who you are
Yeah,
and learn your language, and then
Well,
you can.
which I find
You say not
which
expensive.
I do find a little creepy.
The
I think
the
I
average
do.
one
I
is.
think I'm doing $6.99 a month or something like that.
Oh,
So you're already
wait.
paying for it.
Oh, you do? Oh, okay. I was
Okay.
ChatGPT asked me for $20 a month. I was like, that's just outrageous.
But
to
that's
me.
like the top of the line thing.
Oh,
They
okay.
had several options for what I.
There's
I
a
got
lot.
you.
There's a lot
There's
of
a lot of
options.
options,
Yeah. But honestly, one of the whole Ellison family I find interesting, because David Ellison, the son, now runs Skydance, which just completed the Paramount the
yeah.
acquisition of Paramount for $8 billion.
Yep.
And now he is looking to purchase Warner Discovery,
Wow.
which
Oh, okay.
owns Rachel's favorite news station,
CNN.
which could actually rescue. I think it could rescue CNN and bring them out of the doldrums. By actually making it a news organization.
Wow.
Rather than just a
We
bunch
do-
of,
We
liberal
do know.
mouthpieces.
We do know
I
Fox.
think it'd be good for CNN.
We do know Fox News is the only news station that said they're not really news station. We do know that.
No,
That they
Fox
were there
News-
for entertainment purposes
Fox
only.
News is fair and balanced.
What?
Well, I don't watch the opinion hosts. I watch Brett.
Brett.
You know, I mean, Brett's great.
Well, God bless America.
Yes.
God bless America.
Yes.
Yeah,
We can all agree there.
We got a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
we got a lot of work to do.
ton of work.
For all those people out there who say Democrats don't love America, you're wrong. You're wrong.
Well, they
You're
love a
wrong.
version of America.
We love America
A version of
and
America.
all its sickos.
All of them. Yeah.
All of them. All of them.
All right. Well, we're making a mental note. We're going to talk more about AI.
AI.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
AI.
Mostly
Thanks
what we're
everybody
gonna-
for joining.
Mostly what we're going to talk about is why none of us are sufficiently invested in AI, because otherwise we'd be retired by now.
Right.
Anyway, cheers.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Thanks for joining us.
If you
We'll
made it this
see
late
you
into the
soon.
podcast, please put a comment at the bottom. Let us know what you think about the show. But yeah.
Until
anyways,
next time.
Until next time.